In 2017, Kevin Durant changed the landscape of the NBA forever by leaving his team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and joining the 73-9 Golden State Warriors, only to win 2 championships and 2 finals MVPs along the way. But what if, instead of leaving his team, he stuck around, thugged it out with Russell Westbrook, and decided to stick around in OKC and create a potential dynasty that we saw? Well, that's what we're going to take a look at in this video and see what kind of landscape the NBA became if this did indeed happen, and see whose legacies were tarnished, made, or destroyed along the way. So, co-starring Westbrook, we're going to take a look at what if KD 35 never left OKC. So it's the 2016-2017 season. The Cleveland Cavaliers are coming off their first championship in franchise history. Steph Curry's coming off a unanimous MVP voting, and the Golden State Warriors had a 73-9 record. And Ben Simmons was the first overall pick in the NBA draft. Unfortunately, won't be playing this year. Of other notoriety, Kevin Durant has not signed with the Warriors and has in fact re-signed with his team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, staying forces with Russell Westbrook. And note that the Thunder did pick up Domantas Sabonis, a rookie, in the offseason, along with Victor Oladipo, in a trade sending Serge Ibaka out to Orlando. So that's the team that Oklahoma City's dealing with there. We're picking things up here along the trade deadline just before the All-Star break, and as you can see, you see the Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder are top of the Western Conference with 46-8 and 45-9 records respectively, and looking like some definite dominant forces as we're going to take a look. It's just some of the rosters that we have going on at this time. As I said, it's the 2016-2017 season. The Warriors don't have Durant, so they re-signed Harrison Barnes. The Lakers obviously don't have any LeBron just yet, and Lonzo's still one of the head of the draft class of the prospects for this upcoming draft. So a lot of things will change, as we will see, and simply from this one decision, Durant staying or leaving is a huge thing. And we take a look now at the MVP candidates, and Westbrook, wow, averaging at triple-double and leading the league in scoring, looking like the prime candidate for the MVP. And as you can obviously tell, that's not going to be sitting too well with Durant, who had just re-signed with the team and is in the media being approached as taking a back seat as Westbrook asserting such dominance with this record that the Thunder have, along with that triple-double that he's averaging. First time in over 50 years that feat has been done. So obviously you see the draft classes there, and over the course of the season, Durant, you can see he's just been playing his heart out and doing what needs to be done for this team, but not liking what he's hearing in the media, playing second fiddle essentially to Russell Westbrook. And as we hear at the All-Star break, Durant is not one of the team captains. We got Westbrook, his colleague here, as one of the team captains, and Durant not liking playing second fiddle whatsoever, and the whispers starting to mount of him trying to seek to have Westbrook traded, even though they sit second in the Western Conference and asserting easy dominance over the rest of the league. But Westbrook, team captain for the Western Conference, Durant not too happy about that whatsoever, but they're still making it work on the court as you see the All-Star teams that are managed. Westbrook taking Durant as his teammate, obviously, and you see these records here at the midway point of the season. Raptors up at the top, Cleveland taking a bit of a backseat to their real records here. But as we get to the end of the season, you see the All-NBA teams. Westbrook, obviously All-NBA first team, as he does win the MVP for this season, just as he did in real life with that triple-double. The only difference this time, he's in the first seed along with Kevin Durant as his teammate. So we are into the 2017 playoffs, and what do we have here? The Cavaliers find themselves back to the finals as the Thunder take out the Golden State Warriors and get to the finals, and in 6 games defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers as Westbrook gets his finals MVP. So the Oklahoma City Thunder, fresh off a 69-win season and an MVP performance from Russell Westbrook along with the finals MVP, find themselves in the offseason here. And as we can see, the Lakers have just won the lottery. Reality wanted got the number 2 spot, but in here they are the top spot: Mavericks, Nuggets, Wizards, Suns, and we're going to see who the top spot is here. The very first pick in the NBA draft, we got Alonzo Ball. The Lakers sticking with the hometown boy, taking number 1. All the same, the Mavericks taking the next best point guard available, Markelle Fultz, along with Jason Tatum going to the Nuggets instead of the Celtics. De'Aaron Fox going to the Suns, and we can see Donovan Mitchell going to the 76ers. That's going to be quite the combination with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid in this upcoming season here, as Ben Simmons about to make his actual rookie debut as he missed the entire year from last year. All the same, but as we can round out the rest of the first round of the 17 draft.
Now in breaking news.
Thank you. And this afternoon we have confirmed reports that KD meddling in the front office and requesting Westbrook to be traded, the reigning MVP and Finals MVP, has in fact been traded to the Indiana Pacers in a 3-team deal, seeing Chris Paul come to Oklahoma City Thunder and Paul George find his way home back to the Los Angeles Clippers. What a huge turn of events here, as in reality here, Paul George does go to Clippers and Chris Paul does go to OKC, but both avoiding stops along the way to teams that they did go to subsequently. What a huge turn of events here we have seen. In other notable news from this offseason, though, we did see the Golden State Warriors, who did not have the services of Kevin Durant, go quite to town with their free agency, signing Carmelo Anthony, Michael Conley, and DeMarcus Cousins, bolting a huge lineup. And we also saw a big trade with Zach LaVine and Jimmy Butler. So head to the next. Well, it's the 2017 and 2018 NBA season. The Oklahoma City Thunder are coming off a 69-win season and a championship, but have traded their most valuable player from the finals, Russell Westbrook, in a request from Kevin Durant after telling head office it's him or Westbrook, and evidently got his boy sent right out the door to the Indiana Pacers in exchange for Chris Paul and seeing Mr. Paul George go to the Los Angeles Clippers. You see in here the Thunder getting their championship rings here. With their new addition, Chris Paul, for this year, sure to make a major difference. But the major story in this offseason was the fact that the Golden State Warriors, who got eliminated in the playoffs by the Thunder, went out and got a huge lineup and acquiring free agents Carmelo Anthony, Michael Conley to come off the bench, DeMarcus Cousins, Al Horford, just to name a few, and making their team a huge favorites for the title for this upcoming season. But for right now, we got the Oklahoma City Thunder getting their championship rings and looking to repeat as champions with obviously their new point guard, Chris Paul. In other news for this year, obviously Paul looking to make his impact known for the Thunder, Mr. Westbrook debuting for the Indiana Pacers, and Mr. Giannis making his dominance known in the league. But as we find ourselves at the halfway point, the Raptors have actually traded for Kawhi Leonard in a 3-team deal, sending Blake Griffin to the Spurs and DeRozan to the Clippers. And here's that Golden State team that I was mentioning earlier. huge favorites with that incredible lineup here. But as we see the halfway point, the Golden State Warriors in reality had the top seed, but this fantasy league 45-9 taking control and the top seed obviously in the entire NBA. Here we see the All-Star teams. Steph Curry obviously on that team, headed by James Harden. We see the MVP candidates here. We got LeBron, Giannis, Steph, Carmelo Anthony, and Nikola Jokic. Carmelo Anthony in this simulation obviously having a huge impact in his career as he's resurging himself on a championship contending team now. Markelle Fultz looking to be the front runner for Rookie of the Year. Jeremy Grant, Sixth Man of the Year for the Thunder. And Giannis looking to repeat as Defensive Player of the Year. And Durant Murray looking to be the most improved player. So we're going to just get into the season here. As I mentioned, we are at the halfway point, right around the All-Star break. And we're just going to send right to the end here, where the Golden State Warriors, with this super team that they have assembled, have repeated with the Bulls' overall record from 95-96 with a 72-10 record, just 2 years removed from their 73-9 record. Wow, looking like they're not missing Durant whatsoever here. Is looking like they're going to be quite a task to deal with for the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are trying to repeat as the NBA championships here in this 2017-2018 simulation. With the Chicago Bulls, as you can see, that big trade they made for Zach LaVine, getting rid of Jimmy Butler, has made a big difference. They're at 68-13, taking the top spot in the Eastern Conference. Wow, who would have seen that coming? But they got a well-assembled organization and a really well-assembled team here, obviously, and they're no joke, as they've just been kicking some serious tail all season long in this simulation we got going on here. So let's take a look here at a few more items here. Let's take a look at the league leaders. Lillard leading the league in scoring. Beal leading right behind that. LeBron James behind the two of them. Zach Randolph still kicking and doing huge things for the Memphis Grizzlies. We saw him on the All-Star team as a reserve. But I believe he was retired in real life by this point in his NBA career. But all the same, let me keep it moving on here. See Golden State Warriors top of the Western Conference. Los Angeles Lakers in there too. And the Philadelphia 76ers got that third seed. And as you mentioned, they had Donovan Mitchell on their team as they got in the draft instead of Markelle Fultz, which I think is a huge win for the Sixers, obviously, in that regard. But we see Steph Curry gets the MVP over what Harden did in real life. Connolly gets the Sixth Man of the Year, backing up Curry. And Giannis, another Defensive Player of the Year, with Durant, where he does, in fact, get that Most Improved Player. As we see the All-NBA first team, Jimmy Butler on that team. Russell Westbrook leading the second team with Ben Simmons and Anthony Davis. Wow, okay. So it looked like a win in that trade. Butler still gets an All-NBA first team in Minnesota. Bulls get a top seed in the East now that they acquired Zach LaVine from Minnesota. As we find ourselves into the 2018 playoffs. And after the first couple of rounds, Golden State has knocked out the Lakers, and the Jazz have swept the OKC Thunder, and the Bulls are in there against Philly in the Eastern Finals. Wow! And what do we have here? After 6 games in the finals, the Bulls are tied up with the Golden State Warriors. And what interesting sequence we have seen. No repeat for the Thunder. The Jazz looking like they had done in real life as they were doing some serious things here. But the Bulls and the Warriors in the NBA Finals looking to face a 7th game. And I think what we're going to do is just pick this up in the last minute of Game 7 and just get right into it and see where these things play out. So I'll see you guys on the other side of that, and just enjoy for the meanwhile.
Throughout the night, you could really feel the energy. The huge motivation, always great for a young team, but veteran players also appreciate when fans come with that kind of energy and get into the spirit of the game.
Schroeder against Conley. And that's it, folks. The Golden State Warriors have won it all. All the travel, all the practices, all the meetings, all the games, wins and losses, the emotion, the exhaustion, culminating into tonight.
And whenever you win the NBA championship, there is a level.
So just as they did in reality, the 2018 Golden State Warriors will finish the NBA season as champions. Only difference in this simulation is that Steph Curry does in fact get his first Finals MVP, and they are looking in much better shape going into the next season with the likes of Carmelo, LaMarcus Aldridge, Al Horford, and Mike Conley as their B team, if you will. But the Golden State Warriors champions, all the same as they really were in 2018, champions in the simulation also, and again, Steph Curry getting his first Finals MVP, to which he doesn't even have any in reality, which is hard to believe. Maybe he'll get one this year, but for this simulation, he does get his first, and this is the 2018 season. So congrats to them. Thus far through the simulation, we're 2 seasons through now, and if Kevin Durant stayed in OKC, apparently he would have got a championship in OKC. Apparently Golden State would have got a championship also. So we are going to continue this into the offseason of the 2017-18 offseason, and we'll see you there. So it is now the 2018 offseason as we see the players retiring from the league. We see the Memphis Grizzlies have in fact won the draft lottery, and with that top pick have taken the real #1 pick, DeAndre Ayton, with the top spot. We see Trae Young going to the Hawks just as he really did with the second pick. Heat get Bagley, Kings get Jaren Jackson, and Luka Doncic, we see even in this simulation, still goes to the Dallas Mavericks with the 5th spot. Not too many things changing in this particular draft, but a few minor changes all the same.
Now in breaking news from LA. Take it away, B.
Thanks, lady. We have confirmed reports that King James himself has reportedly signed a 4-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers worth over $150 million. Looking to expand on his movie empire is the word. More details will follow as this is huge news coming out of the offseason. So it's the 2019 NBA season. In reality, my hometown Toronto Raptors came through and won the NBA championship this year with that impressive shot courtesy of Kawhi Leonard, who after the one season did bounce and find his way out to the Los Angeles Clippers. But in this simulation, we are going to see who does come out on top of the 2019 NBA season, as we can see the Golden State Warriors here still with quite the intimidating lineup with Carmelo Anthony, Aldridge, and company on the bench with Michael Conley. We see LeBron James has jumped over to La La Land and joined the Los Angeles Lakers, looking to boost his movie star status in the process. The Toronto Raptors, who were the real champions of this season, we see have the actual team more or less that they had intact for that season, seeing that they can actually duplicate their success in the simulation. We see Chris Paul and Kevin Durant and company with the Oklahoma City Thunder looking to do a little bit better than they did last year, as they failed to get out of the second round and repeat their championship days that they had with Westbrook at the helm of the point guard position. The New Orleans Pelicans here, obviously, nothing spectacular, but keep in mind your boy Anthony Davis there, as he will be making splashes later on in the simulation as he did in reality. The Chicago Bulls finished with 68 wins there the previous season, and a phenomenal team. We'll see if they can duplicate their success this upcoming season here. The Milwaukee Bucks, this was the year that we saw Giannis actually win his first MVP we'll see if that happens in this simulation here. But the Bucks on the verge, all the same as they've been on the bubble in the past few playoff series, and see if they can take a step closer to their championship stature that they did attain in reality. As we go through some more teams here in the East, taking a look at some rosters, we're just looking at how the league has formed out and what teams are proven to be the best contenders going forward here. You see the San Antonio Spurs, no DeMar DeRozan, but they got Blake Griffin on the team instead, looking to make some noise in the Western Conference. The Rockets, now they were unable to make the trade for Chris Paul as they did in reality, so they are there with Isaiah Thomas and James Harden and company. Still a really good team and a contending team for a championship all the same. Luka in his rookie season here about to play out with the Dallas Mavericks. The Brooklyn Nets, interesting team to keep an eye on here. We know what happens with them in reality, but we'll see if that happens in the simulation here also. As we round out the rest of the power rankings here for this upcoming 2019 season. And as I had just mentioned, the Raptors were the real winners in this season in reality as they defeated Golden State. And we did see a lot of injuries happen in reality in this season. We saw Kyrie go down for a long time. We saw Klay Thompson go down for over a year and a half. We saw Kevin Durant go down for an entire year. So, barring similar circumstances in similar scenarios, I can safely say that we'll probably skip those injuries and probably get some actual action out of these guys during that time that they were injured in real life. And like I said, barring we find ourselves in the same situation and like we see a Toronto Golden State final, or we see an Oklahoma City Thunder Toronto final, we might see Durant go down. Or if we see a Golden State Toronto final, we might see Klay Thompson go down, because those are similar circumstances, and we'll let fate play out accordingly. So as we are into the season here, we see that the Golden State Warriors once again just dominating the rest of the league with a 66-15 record. Wow, these guys just do not stop, and they're obviously asserting themselves as the top dogs in the league here. We see the Houston Rockets not too far behind them. The Pelicans in a playoff position, also behind the super play from Anthony Davis, who we have been hearing has been on that trading block and looking to get out of New Orleans, but pushing through for the rest of this season all the same. As we round out the bottom of the Western Conference, see the Phoenix Suns at the bottom trying to get that top draft pick, obviously. As we move over to the Eastern Conference, Philadelphia 76ers, their super team, they got Pat Beverly at the point, Jimmy Butler at shooting guard, Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Embiid, and a young Donovan Mitchell coming off of the bench. What a powerhouse of a team we see there in the East. Raptors here, as we see with Kawhi Leonard, after being acquired last season, still up there, the third seed, trying to win the championship in here, just like they did in reality. But Russell Westbrook, MVP candidate here, averaging close to a triple-double there with the Pacers and his running mate Oladipo. The Milwaukee Bucks, all on the shoulders of Giannis Antetokounmpo, still holding strong there with that eighth position, but obviously having to go through that play-in scenario to secure their playoff safety. Let's take a look at the NBA lottery odds. You see, as I said, the Phoenix Suns with the greatest odds of getting that number one pick, who is Zion, in this upcoming draft. And Zion Williamson, obviously that top prospect. John Morant, not a bad second place, and everything after that is more or less a crapshoot, as those are the top two most coveted prospects in the draft. Westbrook still a top prime candidate for MVP, close to that triple-double. Doncic looking to get that Rookie of the Year, and Giannis getting yet another Defensive Player of the Year. But let's simulate right to the very end of the season and see who gets what and where the chips really fall here. Hey, and as forecasted, Westbrook in Indiana getting that close to triple-double, getting his second MVP. Luka Doncic, Rookie of the Year, no doubt about that one. Kelly Olynyk of the sixth man. Giannis, he had another Defensive Player of the Year. And DeJounte Murray with that Most Improved Player of the Year for sure. And Doc Rivers out there in Philly getting that Coach of the Year. Let's get into the All-NBA teams as we see Westbrook. Murray into the first team. Wow. Giannis, Luka in his rookie season, and Karl-Anthony Towns rounding out the NBA first team. Butler, Stephen, LeBron, Kristaps, and Drummond on the All-NBA second team. What do we got on the third here? Lillard, Chris Paul, Anthony Davis, Kevin Love, and Nikola Jokic. Wow, very different from reality, but all the same, this is what we have. All defensive team, Butler, Simmons, Giannis. Okay, and on the rookie team, Doncic, Bagley, Trae Young. Let's get into the playoffs here. Let's get through these play-in scenarios. As Portland and New Orleans find themselves into the playoffs. Oklahoma City loses in the very first round to the New Orleans Hornets and Anthony Davis. Wow. OKC has not gotten any better over the course of this. Yes, they did get a championship, but they got out in the second round and the first round, respectively, in the last few playoffs. And Anthony Davis and the Pelicans, even though he wants out in the trade, he is playing his heart out and gets his Pelicans past Kevin Durant and the OKC Thunder into the next round of the playoffs. What a performance and what a surprise turn of events, to say the least. As we continue on here, Golden State now facing the Lakers in the second round. Toronto Raptors against the Chicago Bulls, and the Philadelphia 76ers going against the Washington Wizards. Let's see how this second round plays out here and who goes where and who goes home. And the New Orleans Pelicans, a 7th seed coming through the play-in, knocked out the Houston Rockets, and they're going to the Western Final to face the Golden State Warriors. That is crazy. But it's not crazy that the Warriors are there because they have an absolutely stacked team, and they are the overwhelming favorites to take this. So it's no surprise to see them in the Western Finals. But wow, to face the New Orleans Hornets or Pelicans is quite a surprise. Philly facing Chicago, whereas we would have seen Milwaukee and Toronto right here in reality. We see Philly in the Eastern Finals as they don't have to go through Milwaukee. They don't got to go through Toronto, and they find themselves all the way to the finals going against this Golden State Warriors team who did win the championship the previous year, and with a 72-10 record this year, I am telling you, they are no slouch, and without too much question in my mind, I think I'll be taking this. And as I said, they sweep the Philadelphia 76ers in 4 games straight. Steph Curry, without question, getting his second straight Finals MVP. He doesn't have any Finals MVPs in reality, but in this simulation, he's got 2 Finals MVPs without Durant by his side, stealing his thunder. And coincidentally, Kevin Durant doesn't have any Finals MVPs because Russell Westbrook got the Finals MVP in his Thunder championship. Hence why he wanted Westbrook out the door. And no pun intended when they say stealing a thunder. He got Westbrook right out the door from the Thunder. So we see here the Golden State Warriors celebrating with the Larry O'Brien Trophy, taking their second championship in a row and third title in 5 years. And we see Steph Curry Finals MVP for the second time, as just mentioned, as we head into the 2019 offseason, and will be continued. So I thank you all for watching. Stay blessed, subscribe, and we'll see you on the other side there. Take care. Boom.